All right, Ace New York Post columnist Miranda Devine writes in the New York Post, get this, Melania, the movie, serves as a dainty middle finger to Trump's media tormentors who were wrong about everything. And she joins us now to talk about it. Miranda Devine, Ace New York Post columnist, Fox News contributor, and Caroline Downey, National Review columnist. Ladies' night out. Thanks to both of you. We talked about this a little bit last evening and how she beat everybody on the numbers, including the Rotten Tomatoes, 99% audience score on the Rotten Tomatoes, and the critics got 10 or 11%. I love that. But you go on to say, there's a couple things here, very important. Over footage of Trump swearing in at the Capitol, Melania says, people wanted to murder him, incarcerate him, and slander him. And here he is, I'm so proud. Wow. That's in the movie. Yes,
that's what she says. That's her voiceover. And it comes through with everything she says. I think, you know, the media, the Trump deranged, they just have got their relationship so wrong. I think it disappoints them that their marriage is actually strong. They like each other, you know, they enjoy each other's company. And there's another funny scene where the president says to Mrs. Trump, right in the very 2 a.m., the night of all the inaugural balls, says, she's difficult. Then he says, she's not difficult. She's the best First Lady.
Caroline, are you difficult?
Well, I'd hope to be half as difficult as Melania Trump. And I just love the way that Miranda described also her second inaugural outfit, which I thought was kind of her epic revenge outfit, because this is a woman, unlike the first time around where you said she was trying to play nice with the media, she was taking a lot of their blows and absorbing that. This time, she's absolutely taking no prisoners. She said, this is the wife of a husband who was targeted financially, tried to put him in jail. I think now she's just relentless in the most dignified, elegant way, and I think it's a fantastic film.
It's one more that you, as if you're talking about critics, as if to rub it in, a frumpier First Lady arrived in the form of Jill Biden. They fawned over her and put her on the cover of Vogue 4 times. Melania was she on the
Never. Never. No, it was a deliberate snub.
Should have been everywhere.
Of course.
Should have been in the Washington Post society columns all the time. I mean, that's just incredible what the media did.
Yes, and it was really by omission. It was just like a real Mean Girls hate fest on her. You know, her Christmas decorations were no good. They never mentioned when she looked absolutely gorgeous and represented America really well. She speaks 6 languages. She spoke them. There's a scene where she's speaking to Brigitte Macron on Zoom, and Brigitte Macron's talking in French, and she can understand perfectly. I mean, she is a very accomplished woman and very dignified. She brings a lot of respect and dignity to the office. And Jill Biden, I'm not criticising her necessarily at all, but she's not really the classic person you think of as a Vogue supermodel.
Yes, exactly so. Caroline, I want to switch gears. I want to talk about your favorite mayor, Mamdani, here in New York City. We seem to be having a problem with snow and trash pickup. It's socialism. Does Karl Marx have a section on snow and trash picking up? I don't know. It's still. I mean, it's still terrible. It's still terrible.
Yeah.
All right. One of our producers taking pictures of their kid going to school today. The trash is mounted high and the snowbanks are mounted high. There, we got a couple of pictures of it right there. How is this possible? How is this possible?
I mean, how is it not possible? This was so predictable. Collectivism. I want you to collect the trash lining on the streets, and so much for the warmth of that ideology.
Yes.
16 homeless people have frozen to death.
Right.
There's no warmth or comfort to this, only decay, and honestly, the downfall of the city if this keeps up. I mean, he's been in a month and he's already mismanaged something so basic as the sanitation department. Get serious.
But Gracie Mansion has been swept clean.
Spotless.
It's spotless.
Yeah.
So the neighbors are thrilled about that. And then a block away comes the trash and the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, tin ear? I mean, really? Politically, you're right. Even socialists should be able to pick up the trash.
Well, I mean, he's utterly incompetent, and of course he is, because he's 34 years old and he's done nothing but be a theatre kid. And, you know, he had that performative thing the other day where he was out there with the shovel, shoveling the snow. He doesn't even know how to shovel snow. It was hilarious looking at the reviews of his technique. He has no clue, and he's I guess it's a bit of a slap in the face. Maybe it'll turn things better for New York. That so early in his regime, it's been such a disaster. But on the homeless situation, I mean,
just pause on that for a minute. So he's supposed to be compassionate, you know, for those that don't have. And the 16 deaths he has blood on his hands from those 16 deaths. Lots of people told him with, 10 degrees, 5 degrees, -5 degree weather to bring them into a shelter. And he refused to do it.
He refused to do it. It's part of his kind of philosophy is that you just allow people to do whatever the hell they want. And in this case, it was these people did not want to go to shelters. So he says, oh, that's fine. You can just freeze to death. Obviously, they're drug affected. They're mentally ill. They're not in control of their faculties because nobody would choose to sleep in sub-zero temperatures. And his supporters are running around giving them blankets with Mamdani's name on them, which are not going to keep them from freezing to death. It's a very cruel mantra, I think, you're seeing from the left. And it's just like with everything else, with the illegal migrants, etc. They don't care about the fact that they're raped and murdered on the way here across the border. They don't care about them. They just use them as pawns in their war to bring down America.
Caroline, there's not much we can do about him, you know. I mean, as long as Jessica Tisch is the police commissioner, the city probably holds together. And the crime numbers are down a lot under her aegis. But if she were to leave, if he tries to institute a civilian review board that is mandatory decisions, take the power from the NYPD and give it to his socialist board, then she will undoubtedly leave and it will all fall apart.
She strikes me as the one bulwark against anarchy in New York City.
Right.
Thank goodness for that. But you're already seeing some buyer's remorse from the progressive Gen Z voters who thought things would be going a lot better by now. If he doesn't hold the line on keeping crime just basically under control, because clearly he can't take care of the trash or other debris, I do think there's going to be a mutiny of Mamdani, and I look forward to it because this is what you get when you vote for this guy who's a total schmuck.
There you go. Miranda Devine, thank you very much. Caroline Downey, appreciate it.